Hopeful buyers of Valve's new Steam controller mostly experienced a very disappointing launch day, and now scalpers are rubbing salt in the wound with listings of up to triple the initial price. Welcome to Inside Games Daily, the only gaming news show brave enough to know it's 2026. We just can't have nice things anymore, Lawrence.
At least not right away, unless you're willing to wait in a line or pay 3 times the price. But hey, we can hope Valve is scrambling to make more. They must be, right? Come on, it's just controllers. Stamp them out. Boom, boom, boom.
That sounds really easy. I don't know if that's really the way it works. Yesterday was a red letter day, in theory, with Valve uncharacteristically launching a new product.
Yeah, something new from Valve. Wow, cool. Yeah, the $100 Steam controller, new Gen 2, whatever. Steam controller launched and sold out in about 30 minutes, and that's according to PC Gamer.
If you're unfamiliar, the very doodad-heavy peripheral from Valve is the successor to their unpopular 2015 controller, which was discontinued in 2019, which I hated.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan either. They were selling them for like $5. It was fire sale by the end, but that was a long time ago. Valve has gotten a lot better at making controllers since then. And also 2015 was a weird era where you could buy things you wanted on the internet.
That's a good point. Not only did the new controller sell out very quickly, but the rush of traffic broke Steam itself.
Love this stuff. Yeah, Down Detector shows a spike of user-submitted reports for Steam right around the time when the controller launched.
Of course. PC Gamer also noticed that Valve changed the shipping time for the controller from 3 to 5 business days to 6 to 10 because they got so many orders.
Yeah, interesting rush. Anecdotally, several folks reported a very frustrating checkout process where they'd error out and have to restart over and over, only for the controllers to sell out in the meantime, or even more annoyingly for Steam to say, you've tried too much, you can't anymore.
Oh, yes.
I was seeing it in real time because I was live streaming, people just venting in chat about the frustrations they were experiencing. It's so rough.
If those wounds aren't salty enough, it gets worse because scalpers are doing what they do and listing the controllers with aggravating markups on eBay. Why are the scalpers so good at getting things and we are not?
Yes, right? What did they do? What have they got? I think bots might be the answer. From there, we can only hope that Valve can come up with some kind of cool anti-bot tech. I saw a lot of suggestions on social media, maybe using the tenure of someone's Steam account as some kind of weighted way to get products to the people who've been on the service for a super long time. But I don't know. But you know what would happen then? Sorry, this is a whole tangent, but then people would that have the old Steam accounts would sell them or would use them to let other people buy controllers from them. They'd become the intermediaries of the money. So there's no perfect system anyway. That they're out over.
The most galling scalp we could find is this listing for $400 or a 400% markup. That's stupid.
Yes, the cheapest eBay listings at the time of writing are weirdly all from Australia. Large volume of Steam controller listings from Australia. Which, according to shipping estimates, and if we convert it all to US dollar, that would run about $240, $250 US.
Okay. The lowest US-based resale we could find is this one for $290, but you got to pay $20 shipping.
Yeah, so even $300 is kind of over the triple price. Yeah. Informally, this is just me checking yesterday and then checking today. It seems that resale prices are going up. The most expensive one I could find yesterday was $300. And while I was writing the script, I saw one pop up for the $400. So I think people are starting to understand that the demand is a little more and they can start to push the price higher and higher.
Boy, that's bad news. So this will be interesting to see how high speculation gets on these bad boys. And I don't know what to tell somebody if they're going to buy a Steam controller, but maybe don't spend $400 on one.
Yeah. On one hand, what's money for? Buying the things you like, I suppose, but please don't reward this. But yeah, I'm not your parent. I guess you can do what you want.
That's a good point. Valve acknowledged they underestimated demand in a post on Blue Sky today, adding that they, quote, hate that not everyone who wanted one was able to get it. Like me. I very briefly checked. I was like, hey, you know what? Maybe I'll go look at the Steam controller. It's the top seller on Steam. Let's go see. Out of stock. And I was like, well, never mind. I moved on.
The moment came and went, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, Valve has no specifics to share about when or how many Steam controllers they might get. They did, say they're working on adding more stock, so it shouldn't take too long.
I hope so, yeah. If you can wait a few weeks, maybe, or months, I don't know. Valve engineer Steve Cardinale told PC Gamer that they had a, quote, good supply of controllers built up for the launch about a week ago.
Good supply, huh? Though in the same breath, Cardinale sagely predicted that, quote, supply could be much larger than we anticipate. Yeah, it turns out that was the case.
Yeah, but luckily they've got knobs, Lawrence. They know how to turn those knobs.
Yes.
We have knobs, said Valve designer Lawrence Yang. He explained, quote, and then at the factory, if we're like, oh, we actually probably need to make more, then we can turn that knob up and have them producing more.
See, it is that simple. There's just a giant knob that has Steam controller, like a label at the bottom, and you just gotta like really wrench it around. Right. And then the little piston that stamps the Steam controllers out of Steam controller material speeds up.
Yep.
Then you just get more. They all fall into a truck. It drives away. Reviews are largely positive for the device, praising its ergonomics, its customizability, and its ease of use inside of Steam specifically, while largely dinging it for its aesthetic, its higher price, and difficulty when trying to use it on anything outside of Steam.
None of that sounds good. Valve announced 2 other products alongside the Steam controller, the console-style Steam Machine, which we still don't have a price for, and a new VR headset called the Steam Frame.
Both very interesting devices. Valve still intends to launch all of these devices in 2026. At least that's what they said in a blog post a month or so ago. But the global RAM shortage caused by the AI data center construction boom has really complicated those plans. So it's driving prices up, it's making it harder to source parts. So they can't really say when or how much it'll cost. But we're all praying, and what a miracle it would be if we got to enjoy 2 more product launches from Valve. But it's scary to think about Valve products that are even more supply constrained than this controller was. They were supposed to have a lot of these, and they're already gone. So I don't know. This is gonna get messy, and it's gonna get expensive.
I don't like this either because, I mean, yes, it seems like a harbinger for the Steam Machine, right? When the Steam Machine comes out, you could probably guess the demand's going to be higher for a Steam Machine than the Steam controller, maybe. But the Steam controller is $100. It's cheap. So people might have $100 to throw away on a controller. The Steam Machine could be $1,000. So maybe, I don't know, maybe people will be more hesitant to spend $1,000 on the Steam Machine, but probably not. I bet the demand is very, very high for the Steam Machine unless they price that thing in the stratosphere, which they're probably not going to do.
Well, yeah, that's what worries me. The way the Steam controller is performed is like, it's good and it makes me happy, but it also terrifies me a little bit. You know, I like that something is so popular and so pretty deep into the PC ecosystem. I think it shows that there's a lot of vibrance, and I guess to be a little more soulless about it, a lot of purchasing intent in this market, even if it is like maybe I guess it's about PlayStation size. But still, yeah, there's a lot of people who want to buy pricey stuff, which I think encourages investment, encourages other companies to come in and try things and make products and sell. And, you know, it just means more games and stuff like that. So it's good. It's vibrancy, but it's also a little bit scary, I think. A lot of people have drawn the comparison between the $100 Steam controller and cheaper controllers that still have premium parts and stuff like that. Ones you can get from 8BitDo and things like that. And that's fine, but the fact that this market has the money, is willing to spend it, and is okay with a higher MSRP is a bit scary. I mean, you mentioned $100 is cheap, and it is for hardware for the most part, especially compared to like a DualSense Pro or an Xbox Elite controller. But it worries me when it comes to something like the Steam Machine or the Steam Frame, because those are going to be smaller production, which means they probably want a higher margin, which means they're going to have to price it higher. And if all the indicators show everyone that the margins can be higher on PC, everybody will not only accept that, but they'll trip over each other and crash Steam to pay for it. Then really it just makes anyone who's selling to that market kind of kick themselves for not pricing it higher in the first place.
Yeah, this is a really interesting problem that we have. And the problem is always, you know, everybody's like, oh, I don't have any money, and then they spend a bunch of money on stuff. But I actually don't think that maybe it's not necessarily representative of what's actually going to happen with the Steam Machine. The reason I say that is because of scalpers. I think scalpers really are fucking everything up. I really do. I think scalpers completely fucked this up because, again, scalpers probably have $100 a piece to spend on whatever they made a bunch of new Steam accounts and then bought all these controllers. Same with the Steam Machine. Weirdly, for some reason, these scalpers have hundreds of thousands of dollars to spend on bots and on Steam machines, and then they scalp them even higher. So Valve, more appropriately, really needs to come up with a system that makes it so that everybody only gets one Steam machine, and you have to have a Steam account for whatever it is, 5 years or something, something like that. I'm just throwing it out there. And the reason is Sony did this with the PlayStation. And it worked. I mean, like, it totally did. It worked. It pretty much destroyed the scalping market. So Valve really needs to come up with that, and soon. Hopefully they use the Steam controller as the canary in a coal mine, and they were like, "Ooh, this turned out to be really bad. Let's make it so that you have to have a Steam account again for a year," or I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, I really wonder what the ratio of the scalping business is, and how much Steam could possibly fight back against it. I mean, if any company in the world knows about how to handle bad actors who are trying to compromise their service, you'd think it'd be Valve. But here, yeah, there are eBay listings going up. There's some, but it's really hard to tell, how many of those were legitimate buyers or potentially legitimate buyers. You're right about, it's interesting the note about PlayStation, because yeah, they started selling direct, and Nintendo did the same. It seemed to help. They seemed to get most people the hardware they wanted. Because yeah, I was thinking back to the early 2020s or mid 2020s when PlayStation hardware was just going through the roof. And yeah, they seem to fight back against it. So in a way, this is the best possible problem for Valve to have. They've sold out everything faster than they thought they would. But it comes with a lot of new problems, which now they have to fill demand and also manage all the people who are trying to exploit the situation to make a buck. I don't know how they do that, man. Luckily, that's not my job. I just get to kick back and complain about it.
That's right. That's what we do on Inside Games. So thank you very much for watching. We are really sorry if you didn't get a controller. I didn't get one either. I don't know if Lawrence, did you get one?
No, okay. I was so soured on their first one. I was like, I'll just wait.
Yeah, same with me. Yeah. So just drown your sorrows if you didn't get a controller in some free memes. We have some free memes on our Patreon. We also post all of our content for free there as well. All the videos are there. And if you ever want to support Inside Games, that's maybe the easiest or best way to do it with Patreon. So just go ahead and take a look at that really long meme thread all on our Patreon. And maybe like and subscribe to the video if you want to. That always helps as well, leaving a comment. And we have some Patreon supporters that we want to thank, like we do at the end of every episode. Pitstrip, Tyler King, Hero of Nern, Tito007, and Overly Sarcastic Productions. With any luck, we'll be able to report about the launch and inevitable scalping of the Steam machine one of these days, but I don't know when that's going to happen.
That's going to be so bad. How high do you think it's going to get, Bruce? $3,500 for a Steam machine?
No, don't say that. No, Valve's going to say you have to have a Steam account for 15 years. So it'll be me. I'll get to...
How many TF2 hats do I have to feed into... Got to keep feeding into it like an ATM so it spits out a Steam machine.
No, I'm the only one that gets to buy a Steam machine because I have a Steam account since 2004 or whatever it is.
God damn it.